Hello to all my friends out there. So I endured 3 veggie days. And I wanted to make mention, if you try it and the weight doesn't come right off, don't be surprised because it takes a couple days. And I was telling my son, this is kind of a gross thought. It's possible that the veggies are acting like a vacuum in your intestines and vacuuming a lot of debris out of there. I'm not saying for sure, but strong possible. Okay, so after the 3 days of veggies, you know, I learned the first or second week, don't just, you know, when you can eat anything you want, don't just tear into the food and start eating indiscriminately, because then you might be eating some crap you don't really want to eat, and then the next thing you know, it's veggie day again. Okay, so I went to Dollar Tree and I find this bread to be good, and you get 22 ounces. So for $1, this is a big loaf of bread, and I find it to be good. Every once in a while, you know, just because the food is in the freezer doesn't mean, you know, it's at its best after a while. Okay, so I have good mustard. I bought it Smart and Final. One of the things I found is not worth economizing is mustard. You know, cheap mustard, unless you can find good mustard cheap. Mustard is good too, because mustard is one of those vinegar foods, you know, that's good for you. Mustard, ketchup, and relish. And I was thinking about, you know, this if you're laid off your job thing, or if you're having a hard time, what am I going to do? Well, if you have a friend that would split the rent with you, or you could split the rent with them, Dollar Tree, that is really going to help. Apply for the social services first. Okay, I bought this at Smart and Final, and this was on sale, $1.99, and let's see, 0.6 ounces. So, okay, these aren't the thickest or the biggest pieces of bologna, but these are going to be good. And then, you know, I put butter on the one side because, you know, I want to have some grilled cheese sandwiches. So, okay, so I'm coming to the conclusion. The sugar and the bread is probably the culprits. And just indiscriminately eating. You know, not thinking before eating, that's a bad thing to do. And so, okay, so the recipe for the ginger tea that one of the followers gave me was ginger tea, and I'm brewing some. This is becoming one of my favorites. I think I bought this at 99 cents only. And lemon. You know, when I was a hairdresser, you know, all kinds of stuff could go wrong. One of the biggest causes of stuff going wrong is not following the directions. Okay, so the directions for the ginger tea were, ooh, yummy, yummy. And, you know, it's hard to have a darn tea party with no sandwiches with bread. I'm just glad I can have some sandwiches today. And then, you know, I bought cookies at Dollar Tree. Tea party cookies, of course. And so for the rest of the year, you know, I'm going to be curtailing all spending. I wanted to mention something. Okay, you know, like businesses pay taxes, pay expenses, and the last quarter of the month, or the last quarter of the year, is when they make money, right? So they say to you, we want your apartment back. You want to evacuate at that point to disrupt their money earning, because they're disrupting your life. You know, you don't want to pay their bills so they can devastate your life. Something like that happens, you want to move out, because chances are they can't get the apartment ready. They'll at least lose 1 month revenue, which is only fair if they're devastating your life. And then put it into the back of your mind. Say, okay, something horrible happens, I lose my job, what am I going to do? Do I have a relative that will let me split the bills? Do I have friends that are smart? I help them, they help me. If you don't have these kind of friends, you might want to be rethinking the friend thing. Because, you know, if they're not going to be there for you when things are very crappy, when I moved out, people I knew thought it was just fine. They said, it's legal. I go, okay, you're no kind of friend. You know that? How would you like it if you had to move? You couldn't do it because you don't have enough money in the bank, but that's not the point. And another thing is, you know, just get into the habit of saying, okay, right now I'm in fine shape, but life can turn crappy in a minute. 1 minute, you know? Mostly like when it's really crappy in situations like I was describing, it's premeditated to, you know, cut expenses at the end of the year so this business balances the budget or feathers their own nest. You know, something like that. So say, okay, I was employed by people who cared less for our welfare. And things have never been so good as since I became self-employed. So, okay, so you can't be self-employed because then you won't have benefits and then you won't have a regular paycheck. But just be prepared at all times for the worst. Sorry, we're going to have to let you go. You know, we have to budget. We have to balance our budget. Or, you know, we want to fire you before you're due for your retirement benefits. When we were young, we paid union dues, and so my husband died, and I'm calling in reference to the union dues. Oh, we suspended those. You don't have any union dues. Oh, fine and dandy. We used to scrape up our last damn dollar to pay those union dues. So, you know, just watch out yourself. You know, don't be paranoid. Don't lose sleep, but say, okay, I am cutting costs every place I can. I am being watchful, you know, for people screwing me over, and I'm watching for accidents. One accident, you can't work, you know, and disasters. I'm constantly on the lookout for possible disasters. I mean, we could have an earthquake here tonight. So, okay, you guys, God bless you all.